"He's harmless," my son whispered. Weeks later, a stranger's post went viral. "That's what a real dad looks like." That same night, my wife was on her knees in a hallway begging. "He's harmless." My son said it like a secret, a quiet whisper meant only for me. We were sitting in the car outside the grocery store. The engine was off. Rain tapped against the windshield like impatient fingers. He didn't look at me when he said it, just stared through the fogged glass. At the man standing beside my wife, across the parking lot, the stranger laughed at something she said. She touched his arm lightly, too lightly for strangers, too comfortably. My son leaned closer, his voice barely a breath. "He always brings snacks." Something inside my chest shifted. Not anger, not yet. Something colder. I watched the man, tall, relaxed, confident in the way men are when they believe they belong somewhere. My wife handed him the grocery bags. He carried them to her car like he'd done it 100 times before. My son watched them together. Then he said something that hollowed the air inside the car. "Mom says you wouldn't understand." A pause. A long one. The kind where 1,000 quiet questions begin crawling through your mind like insects. "Understand what?" I asked. He shrugged, like it was nothing, like he hadn't just cracked open something fragile and rotting inside my life. "They just talk sometimes." My son finally looked at me. His eyes were soft. "Trusting." "He's nice, Dad." Across the lot, the stranger leaned closer to my wife. "Too close," she laughed. And for the first time in 13 years of marriage, I realized I had no idea who she really was. At first, I convinced myself it was nothing. People laugh. People talk. People exist in the same space without betraying anyone. That's what normal husbands believe. I drove home that night in silence. My wife hummed softly beside me, like nothing in the world had shifted. Like our son hadn't just planted a quiet grenade in the center of my mind. Dinner was ordinary. Chicken, rice, conversation about school, homework, the usual rhythm of domestic life. But once you notice a crack, you see it everywhere. My wife checked her phone 3 times during dinner. Not unusual, except every time she did, a small smile appeared. Not the kind she gave me, something softer. Private. Later that night, I walked past the hallway and heard my son speaking quietly. His bedroom door was open. My wife sat beside him on the bed. "I told Dad about him," my son said. Silence. A sharp inhale. Then her voice. Tight. Controlled. "What exactly did you say?" "That he's harmless." Another silence. Longer this time. "You shouldn't talk about adults like that," she said softly. "But he is." Her voice dropped into a whisper. "Some things are complicated." I stood in the hallway. Still, listening, the house felt unfamiliar, like I'd been living inside a carefully constructed lie. Later, when she came to bed, she kissed my cheek. Routine. Automatic. "How was work?" she asked. I looked at her. Really looked. Searching for the woman I thought I knew. "It was fine," I said. She smiled, turned off the lamp, rolled onto her side, and fell asleep almost instantly. I lay awake for hours, one thought repeating quietly in the dark. If a man is harmless, why does my wife sound afraid of being discovered I didn't confront her? Confrontation is what careless people do. People who want answers immediately. I wanted truth. And truth requires patience. The next morning, I kissed her goodbye like always. Made coffee, packed our son's lunch. Routine is the perfect disguise. 3 days later, I started paying attention. Small things first. Her phone, always face down now. The grocery store trips, more frequent. Longer. She said it was crowded. Traffic. Lines. Excuses. I said nothing. Instead, I began observing. Patterns emerge when you stop reacting emotionally. Wednesday evenings, Saturday afternoons. Those were the times she left the house alone. Once I followed. Not close enough to be noticed. Just far enough. She didn't go to the grocery store. She went to a small park. And there he was. The man from the parking lot. Waiting, like he belonged there. They walked together. Slowly. Talking. Sometimes laughing. Once, he touched her lower back. And she didn't move away. I sat in my car. Hands resting calmly on the steering wheel. My pulse steady. The strange thing about betrayal is how quiet it can feel. No screaming, no explosions, just the silent collapse of something you once believed was permanent. 2 weeks passed. Then something unexpected happened. A video appeared online, a stranger's social media post. It started spreading fast. The caption read, "That's what a real dad looks like." The video showed a man helping a little boy tie his shoelaces. Patient, gentle, encouraging. People in the comments praised him. Hero, great father, role model. The camera zoomed closer, and my stomach turned to ice. The man tying the boy's shoes was the same man meeting my wife in the park. The boy in the video smiled up at him, called him Dad. Thousands of people shared it, admiring the moment. But I noticed something no one else did. The location tag. The park. The same place. The same bench. The same quiet corner where my wife met him every week. I watched the video again and again. Then I noticed something worse. My wife was in the background, barely visible, standing near a tree, watching them, smiling like they were a family. I needed confirmation, not suspicion, not emotion, facts. So I started digging. The man's name surfaced easily. Viral posts have a way of revealing everything. His profile, his job, his address, his son, divorced, shared custody. Then I found the messages. It took time, patience, but passwords repeat themselves when people are careless. The messages went back 8 months. 8 months of secrets, late-night conversations, private jokes, plans. Then one message froze the blood in my veins. Her words, clear, undeniable. I wish my son had a father like you. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then another message appeared beneath it. His reply, maybe he does. The room felt smaller, like the walls were closing in quietly. Later that week, the DNA results arrived. I had ordered the test weeks earlier. Quietly, efficiently, the envelope sat on the kitchen counter. I opened it slowly. Read it once. Then again. Probability of paternity, 0%. My son was not mine. I sat there for a long time. Not angry, not screaming, just absorbing the final shape of the truth. 13 years of fatherhood, and the foundation beneath it had never existed. That night, when she came home, I handed her the envelope. No explanation, no accusation. She opened it. Read it, and her face drained of color. Her hands began shaking. I leaned against the kitchen counter. Calm, composed. Is there something you want to tell me? I asked. Her lips trembled. I can explain. I nodded slowly. I'm sure you can. But she didn't speak, because some truths sound monstrous when spoken out, loud. The viral video had reached millions by then. Everyone admired him, the devoted father, the man raising his son with patience and kindness. They celebrated him, praised him. What they didn't know was the rest of the story. 2 days after the DNA results, I posted something. Just one comment under the viral video. No anger, no insults, just facts. A photo of the DNA report, and a sentence. I raised that boy for 13 years. Turns out he was never mine. The internet did the rest. Questions exploded. People investigated. The timeline unraveled quickly. 8 months of messages, park meetings, a married woman, a hidden relationship. Within hours, the hero in the video wasn't a hero anymore. Just a man who helped destroy a family. My wife came home that night in tears, her phone buzzing endlessly. Messages, calls, judgment. The internet is merciless when the truth appears. She found me sitting quietly in the hallway, waiting. She dropped to her knees, right there on the hardwood floor, crying, begging. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to happen. Please don't leave. Her voice cracked with desperation, but I felt nothing. Not hatred, not sadness, just distance. I looked at her like someone observing a stranger. And maybe that's what she had become. A stranger wearing the face of my past. You already left, I said quietly. Divorce is surprisingly simple once the truth removes the emotion. Lawyers handle the details. Courts handle the signatures. Time handles everything else. My son still calls me Dad. I never corrected him. Some bonds aren't built by blood. They're built by years. By bedtime stories. By scraped knees. By quiet moments that no DNA test can erase. But my wife, she became a memory. One I filed away without anger, because revenge doesn't require cruelty. Only exposure. Weeks later, the viral video faded from the internet. People moved on. They always do. But sometimes, late at night, I remember the moment in the car, rain tapping against the windshield, my son whispering softly beside me. He's harmless. Maybe he was. Maybe none of them meant to destroy anything. But intentions don't matter. Truth does. And the truth is simple. I didn't lose a family that night. I discovered I never had one to begin with. And once you understand that, walking away becomes easy.